So in the previous work session, we were trying to simplify the way we are uh, sending the information. So instead of having that in all, the code in all the buttons here, like I had done, I'm gonna turn it off here just for me, and I'm gonna put this here in the time button, the parent game object. I don't think we need this button 1 anymore because we do we send the value with this method. So we call this method when the button is clicked, and then we pass the string 15 minutes to item 1. So we don't need that. We do need a drop down though, because uh, we need to access the value of the drop down. That's what's happening here in line 19. So I'm gonna duplicate this. So what I need to do is to make sure that all the buttons have one extra thing here, and then an extra call, on click call, event call, and then while I have all of them selected, I'll click and drag the time buttons because it has the script T4C data collection, and then individually I'll be activating this. So this is the 60, this is the 45, this is the 30, and 15. I guess I'm already gonna delete this one because I was able to visualize what I wanted to do. So the parent has the uh, script. So the test now is, if I click 15, item 1 is gonna show 15 minutes, 30 minutes, and so on. Okay, that's good. So after, the person can change their mind as many times as they want. Once they are ready to continue and submit, we click the continue button. Then the continue button, we are going to insert, uh, we were doing that, right? So I'm gonna drag the time buttons here, and I'm gonna use the function send how long. So in the send how long method, we call the coroutine how long one, how long, that is just parsing one piece of information, which is item one, is a string, and it's gonna send to that very specific space in Google Forms. Let's see if it's gonna happen or work now. Ouch. I will open the Google form side by side. So it's waiting for responses. Let's see. I don't need to have this. Yeah. So first 15 minutes. The coroutine couldn't be started because the game object. Oh, see? Because it makes it. That's what I was thinking about before in the previous video. If we put it here, it disappears. So maybe we need to put the script here in UI, because this is going to be similar to all of these scenes. And then because I did that, I'll have to redo all buttons like it's missing. 60, 45, 30, 15. Send how long? I'm gonna submit 15 now. Ta-da! I'm gonna submit 30 now. Ta-da! I'm gonna submit 45, 60. Oh, 60. Ta-da! That's great. It's working. I'm gonna save. Now let's take a look how this form works. You can, like, they have graphs, I guess, here, but I don't know why they're not showing the graphs. And the sheets are getting here the timestamp and the answer. Okay. So we tested the coroutine are working and the T4C system living under do not destroy and load. We also tested the Google form receiving data. I think oh, I'm going to introduce to program now how to do that with the drop down. So in the drop down there is a on value changed, so we can draw the UI here, and then I'll have to create another method to consider the possible options, because there is value 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So let's go. And I'm going to create a region called drop down values, and region. I need to I'm gonna make these two methods also be individualized. Send how long button, and I'll make one called send how long dropdown. Actually, send time. Send how long time. I know I'm doing this, but like just to be more meaningful. I'll take a look at the code in Watershed Explorer to see how I accessed the drop down values. Oh, I just oh, it's straight from, okay. Oh, but I have to say if value equals 1. Let's see where that is. I guess I can do this here. I guess I'll have to have updates. Oh no, I can create a method that just has this, and every time the value is changed, it does this. So I don't need to split send time button, send time drop down anymore. I'm gonna undo everything. So what's gonna happen? I'm gonna be calling this method on the drop down on value change. So whenever the value changes, I'm gonna be getting the value from the drop down and passing to item number 1. If I had more drop downs, like I'm gonna have in the update version of the recommendations, then I would have 3 items, 1, 2, 3, and drop down 1, 2, 3. Let's see. This is not how long this is. I'm gonna call time to play. Hopefully the buttons are still here. Yes. So, but in the continue button, it's different because I changed the name. Continue button is submit availability. And in the drop down here in the on value change, I want to update drop down. Oh my gosh, let's see if it's gonna work. And I need to drag the drop down here because it's a reference of the object. There you go. Okay, so 60 minutes is the first option, 45 is the second option, 30 is the third option, if 4 is 15, the first one is 0. What I want to do is to treat this drop down so that it sends the same the information in string. So let's see what I can do. First I'm gonna save. I don't know what I'm doing here. I think I'm just using I'm creating a variable, temporary variable that is called choice, and I'm storing this in choice. And then I can make an if statement like if choice equals 1. Let's see what Visual saying. Okay, so if choice equals 1, something happens. So what is going to be sent to item 1 is 60 minutes. I'm gonna be consistent and see I didn't put. What I'm doing is like this variable, it's a temporary variable, it's local to this method, update dropdown. So once I call this update dropdown in the, every time I change the value in the dropdown object, this line is going to be run, but we read it opposite. So it's going to get the component of the object that we refer dropdown one, find the text mesh pro dropdown component, access the value, and transform this value into a string. This string is going to be stored here. Then I have four conditions. If choice is equals 1, then we send the string 60 minutes to item 1, and so on and so forth. What I'm seeing here is that I don't even need to do this toString anymore. And then instead of checking for a string, I check for a number, like this. It's one less step. Code is cleaner. I don't know what's the difference between using var or an int, but whatever. I can ask someone who knows later. Let's test. So every time I change the value in the dropdown, it needs to submit the very same. For instance, I'm selecting 60. It should appear 60 in item 1. See? 45, 30, and 15. And if I click the buttons, 30, 45, 60, and 15. So both systems are working, and this was a very nice session. Let me see how long the video is. Almost 30. I'm going to stop this video now because the other one was very long.